or 3 large Granny Smith apples. You know, that Granny, she gets around. She puts a little weight on sometimes. Don't eat that. Ooh, bad, 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 bad.
Comedy Kitchen with Chef Sel was recorded in front of a fake audience.
Hey guys, Chef Sel right here. Caught you napping. Chef Sel right here. Before we begin, I have to tell you, we have just hit 700,000 views. And fake audience, I have to thank you because you add a lot to the show. So listen, 700,000 views. You know why? Because you like this stuff. You know, it's tell you what you got to do. You can do it on your own. You can do it with my help. It'll just give you some ideas. All right, this is how we do the cooking show here. All right, and I make fun of myself, and who doesn't like that? Anyway, we got that. I think we're up to 25,000 subscribers. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. All right, enough about me. Today, we're going to make a delicious reduced apple cider bundt cake with an apple cider glaze. Very easy to do. Get yourself a bundt pan. Follow my directions step by step. Let's get into the ingredients now, and please like, because I know you like. You're telling me you like.
You like.
And subscribe. Let's go. Let's have some fun. What you're gonna need, get yourself some dark brown sugar, powdered sugar, 2 sticks unsalted butter, give me 4 medium-sized Granny Smith apples, or 3 large Granny Smith apples. You know, that Granny, she gets around. She puts a little weight on sometimes. Baking soda, baking powder, vanilla extract. I'm using gluten-free because it's a gluten-free show. Baking flour, gluten-free baking flour from our friend, Bob. And some allspice, ground nutmeg, and some good quality cinnamon. Give me 2 medium-sized mixing bowls. A nice, sturdy, heavy-duty, nice gauge bundt pan. Don't get the cheap ones from the supermarkets because you're gonna burn the outside of a freaking cake. Everybody goes home. And some pan for that. And some mixing cups, spoons, and a little paring knife to core a apple. And I have a reduced 2 cups of really good apple cider, or you can get organic apple juice. Has a lot of pulp in there. We want the really good thick stuff. And we're gonna boil that down or reduce it to about 1 cup from 4 cups. And I have it right here. And gotta grate the apples, right? Yeah, exactly. Box grater. And 3 large eggs. And some kosher salt. And let's get to work. Let's preheat that oven at 350 and set that shelf the second rung down from the top. And we're all ready to go. Here's our dry bowl. The wet bowl is swinging a bat off stage. Or on deck. That was it. Whatever. We have this gluten-free baking flour I told you about. We want 3 3/4 cups of that into this bigger of the 2 bowls. There's 1, and there's 2. And that's 3, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Kosher salt, 1 teaspoon, and about 3/4. 1 3/4 teaspoons of that's fine. 1 1/2 teaspoons baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon baking soda. Pretty basic, right? 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon allspice, and a light teaspoon cinnamon. Mix it around. And while we're doing this, get your sights on that wet. And this gluten-free flour, it's a cup for cup kind of thing. So if you want to use regular flour, be my guest. Just follow the same recipe. You'll be fine. Time for the wet portion of our show. 2 sticks of butter. And I'm going to put this on a low flame. Let them melt. Keep your eye on it, please. 1/2 cup of reduced cider. Save the rest of it. You'll see what we do with it. It's part of the glaze. 3 eggs. Watch out for the shells. I like to do this in a separate bowl. check for shells, but I'm feeling good. Feeling funky today, you know? Kind of feel kind of shell funky. That's cool. Break the yolks, mix it around. Easy stuff. I told you, it's pretty easy. It's already smelling like, you know, fall, right? You go apple picking. Perfect. Even though it's like June right now. 2 teaspoons of delicious. Get the real vanilla. Don't mess around with me, all right? I'm not in the mood. Oh, I'm in the mood. Relax. Okay? Let's do 1.5 cups of packed dark brown sugar. There's the 1. There's the half. Break and whisk. Try to not have these little black holdouts in this dark brown sugar. You're gonna get them, but just try not to. They will bake off mostly, but sometimes you get a little, you know, little hard piece of sugar in there. And while I'm waiting for that butter to melt, it's almost melted. Boom. Peel and core, Stels. Yes, I can core a apple. Here's my method. You could use yours. Uncrown it on the top. I made that up. Ho-ho. Uncrown the bottom. And we're just going to kind of just go like that. This way, turn it around, and that way. And don't eat that. Ooh, bad, 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 bad. All right, see? They're all peeled. Now we're going to core them. This just in. My butter has just melted, so it's not going to be too hot to add to this wet mixture. But keep it cooling down anyway, you know? Don't trust the butter. That's my 28th book. Careful with the knife. Right down the middle. And again, you could do it the way you want. Here's the way I'm going to do it. We get this out of the top part. And again, this side. And just go around. Get that whole core out of there. Don't leave any little bits of the core. They'll pick at your house in the neighborhood. This guy is a core leaver. And so on and so forth. Let me finish these up and then we'll show you how I grate them. Very easy, but I'll show you anyway, you know? Get a nice open space here. Largest holes. And grate the heck out of it. Okay, grated apples into that wet mixture. A little bit of juice, not bad, not gonna kill you. Cool down butter. Make sure it's cool. You don't want scrambled egg, delicious apple, cake, bundt, cake, apple, cake stuff. And now you're gonna get a spatula. And we have the spatula now. Can't use the whisk on this because it gets caught in the spokes, you know, these apples. Oh, look at that. And let's add that wet into this dry. Just dump it in and try to do a folding motion at the beginning. If you do a mix, you're gonna, this, you know, flour just sprays all over the place. You don't wanna do that. Helps with the cleanup. And the batter is now coming together. Talk about batter up. By the way, you can grate these apples on a Cuisinart, and I've done it a million times, but why? It's such a cleanup involved, you know? Get that hand grater going. Let's pan this pan over the sink, please. And just pour. Don't worry about getting it around the whole sides and all that stuff. Just pour it in one spot. It'll find its way. But a shake wouldn't kill you. And I have my patented, I guess I'll call it my favorite, setup, silicone mat on a non-rimmed cookie sheet. There's your batter. In the oven, 350. Check it after 40-45 minutes. And if it starts getting too brown around these edges, here and here, down to 325. Keep your eye on it. Every 3 minutes, check it. That's it. I'll come back when she's baked up. This was in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes, and then I turned it down. It started to get a little too dark around the edges here, especially with the gluten-free flour. You got to be careful with that. And I turned it down to 325, you know, 5 minutes at a time until it bounces when you do the bounce test. And we stuck a toothpick in there, came out clean, beautiful. I have a dish, boom. Time for the inversion. And by the way, you have to let this cool. Voila. Beautiful. Now we're going to put a little bit of a glaze on here using the rest of that reduced apple cider. I mean, there's so many things that you do with this cake. And I hope people, when they eat it, they go, oh, wow, you did a lot of things with this cake. That's 3/4 of a cup powdered sugar or confectioner's, 2/4, which is a half, and then 3/4 coming in hot, as they say. I don't know why they say that. Remember the reduced apple cider? Incredible taste. And give this 2 tablespoons. God, you could see how good that tastes. Whew. Now you're probably saying, oh, come on, please. This is gonna be like a gloppy, it's got not enough liquid. Watch, the magic of confectioner sugar. It disappears. Just like that guy that has to pay the bill when you go out to dinner, right? He goes out to the men's room. What a lot of people also like to do is leftover reduced cider. They like to brush some of it on top there and let it go through. Makes a really, really even moister cake than this is. Is moister a word? No, it's not a word. I have any old pitcher in the world. I'm gonna pan it. And I'm gonna get this in there. Of course I panned it to make it come out easier when you pour it over the cake. Otherwise you gotta shake it and it causes a lot of arguments at home. Yeah, this is good, this is good. And just go. Now, you gotta say to yourself, I got this much and I got this much, right? You gotta kinda pace yourself going around the horn here. I'm usually pretty good at it, but let's see. Just let it drip down. I'm having a good, what they call cake day. Gorgeous. Unbelievable apple cider cake with an apple cider glaze. Wait till you taste this. And remember, subscribe, not to my hand, to me, I'm over here. Subscribe, like, and stick with us. We're 700,000 views. We gotta be doing something right. Anyway, I'm Chef Sel, and I will see you next time.